What's good, YouTube? This your boy Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video up on the Sacramento Kings. This team is just a team that underperformed, to be honest with you. They have all the talent. They got a small forward that can score. Rudy Gay efficiently upped his efficiency. Ben McLemore, a shooter. They got a point guard that can't shoot but knows how to play basketball. They got a center that's absolutely dominant. They got another center in Willie Cauley-Stein that's hustle plays and gets the easy points and gets the dunks. Amari Caspi is another shooter. Caron Butler, another shooter. Marco Belli, another shooter. What more could you ask for a team? And they got the coach Dave Yeager, that's actually a good coach that can take them to the next level because he knows the fundamentals and he knows how to play. I mean, he knows basketball at the end of the day. So I like what he did in Memphis. I like that he got another coaching opportunity. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to see what this team going to do. George Karl had the team, and they really underperformed, like, hugely. They didn't even win 40 games this year. So that's disappointing, especially that they did all these upgrades at these positions. They signed all these free agents to these contracts, and they still couldn't even come close to making the playoffs. So Dave Yeager got a tough job on his hands to manage all these egos, to manage all these personalities, to manage all these mixed bags of teammates, and concatenate it together so that way it can work. You a voodoo, so that way it can work. And I just want to see what he can do. I like Dave Yeager. I like what he did in Memphis. Like I said, I just want to see what he can do with this roster because DeMarcus Cousins got to prove that he can do it as the man. He hasn't been able to prove it yet. He's been absolutely dominant. He's been rewarded with the individual success, as in getting the All NBA nods and getting the All Star nods. The coaches like him. The players like him. People respect him, like the media and me and the fans. We respect DeMarcus Cousins as a dominant player, but he's getting to that point where he's 25, he's entering his peak career, and he's still not winning. He has to win. And once he does that, he gets more accolades as a franchise player, but he hasn't been able to win or get to the playoffs, and that's winning. When you can get to the playoffs, that's winning. And he hasn't been able to do it. Anthony Davis was able to do it last year. DeMarcus Cousins got more talent and wasn't able to do it last year or none of these years. He basically been putting up big stats but haven't been doing anything. But his teammates have to help him out. Ben McLemore, his development, I like him. He got to develop more. He was a high touted player. He had high potential. He hasn't lived up to what he's supposed to be. I like him. He's athletic. He's a shooter. He got to add more with the ball handling. He got to add more with the scoring. He got to be more versatile. He got to be wanting to do more. He got to be wanting to show more. He got to show more, and just in general. Rudy Gay has flat out improved, though. He upped his efficiency. He taking smarter shots, but he still ain't winning. You know, Memphis cut him, and Toronto didn't need him. Then he went to Sacramento, and he's still not winning. So they got a bunch of people that can score, but they're not winning any games. Rondo went from Boston. They said he was he can they was gonna rebuild around him. He rather leave. He was a cancer in Dallas. He go to Sacramento. He's not helping to win. He went to Dallas that made the playoffs, and then he goes and he actually hurted the team. Then he goes to Sacramento and didn't even help them win 40 games. So we gonna have to see what the Sacramento team can do. I don't really think they can really do no trades because Rondo is a free agent, so you can't trade him. I don't really know who wants Rudy Gay. He's on an affordable contract, but no team is really desperate for a small forward. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really see nobody on this roster that can really get you no talent that can really move this franchise forward. And they can't, Kevin Durant don't really want to go to Sacramento. LeBron doesn't want to go to Sacramento. So the big time free agents are going to be gone because they don't want to go to Sacramento. So at the end of the day, we're going to have to see what they're going to do. And I'm looking at all the big name free agents, and I don't see none that will fit this team. I think going after Mike Conley over Rondo will help. If they can get Mike Conley over Rondo, that would help them tremendously because he actually can score, he actually can shoot, and he actually does know how to run a team. instead of stat padding. So I can see them going to get Mike Conley, and he would increase their win total significantly. They could be a 50-win team with Dave Yeager and Mike Conley and Cousins and Rudy Gay, and they got the shooters to surround them with. So that might be the missing piece is that point guard, that elite level point guard that can defend, that two-way point guard that can defend and score and run the offense. Mike Conley may be the missing piece to a lot of teams, and that's what I've been trying to tell people. He might be the missing piece to a lot of the teams because you can get him on a solid contract and he can do all the things that you need to do to win. But other than that, they have to find a way to upgrade that point guard position because Rondo just wasn't enough. And they have all the talent. Now we can talk about the draft. In the draft, they got the 8th pick. So they in the range if Buddy Hield, Jamal Murray, and Chris Dunn and them all off the board, they can actually just go for best talent available because they got all the positions filled and backups for the positions. So they best thing on their picks is just the draft. With the organize with the they just need to draft the best talent that they want for their organization because they don't really need to draft anything significant. Like they don't really need to trade up in the draft. They don't really need to get any player. They just need to get them Mike Conley and go for that because Dave Yeager already was his coach. Just go for Mike Conley or a bust because no other player is going to significantly increase this team that wants to come down there and play with this team. So they're going to have to use that 8th pick as a trading chip with a player, or they're going to have to just draft best talent available.